before we begin this video, I just want to mention that not all of the assembly is shown in this video. Most of it is, but there are a few details which aren't. And just as a disclaimer, I am not a professional model builder. This is just a hobby of mine, and so it may not be the best build you've ever seen. But I hope you enjoy the video. So one thing I did find with this kit is fitting these parts here. There was a problem with that because there's no actual guidelines where to fit them on the tank. You're supposed to position them on here, and in the instructions it doesn't tell you the distance apart they are, so I sort of had to estimate that and measure it out with a pencil, as you can see. But yeah, that's one thing I'd like to point out, so if you ever decide to build this kit, that might be a problem. So yeah. So, the instructions now tell us to get these road wheels and glue them onto the tank. Well, not glue them, but use these things again to put them in place on the tank. I'm not going to do this yet. I'm going to wait till the end so that when I'm painting it, I can easily get through all this stuff without having to do the road wheels. So what I've gone ahead and done is put some Zimmerit, well, an attempt at Zimmerit on the back plate. Considering it's my first time, I don't think it's too bad. It is a bit messy, but when it's painted it should be a bit better. So now I just need to glue on the exhausts, the back of the fenders, everything onto this back plate. Then we can fit that to the main hull, and yeah, I'll just do that now. noticed throughout this build that I have been doing all of the Zimmerit, which is the putty, off camera. That's just because it's a very long, slow process and it takes a while, and I didn't really feel like filming the whole thing. But I've left one side of the tank, and I'm just going to quickly show you on a small section how I do it. So I'm using standard milliput. Basically what you do, roll the two types of putty. It's a two-type epoxy putty. You roll the two parts into an even amount, and then what I do is I just get a small section at a time, and I put it onto the desired area. As you can see, I've marked out the line where it needs to go, and basically it's just about spreading it into a nice thin layer, and it's very sticky, as you can see. So what I like to do is get a bit of water on my finger and just spread it out into a nice thin even layer. Make sure it's up against all the surfaces that I want it to, and that it's in a nice even layer so that it looks nice. If you want to, you can use a toothpick or something else like that to spread it out. I find it easier using my finger. Not sure why, that's just my preference. And when you're ready, add more putty. Spread it into all the gaps. And then, once you've done that, you get your Zimmerit tool. This kit came with one, so I'm just using that. And then it's just about scribing the Zimmerit detail into the model. I'm just doing it very rough here, and then I'm going to do it off camera because it's a lot easier. Then just scribing it in your desired fashion until you get the desired effect, and then you do it across the whole surface. I like to work in small bits just so it stays nice and thin and wet while I do it, so that it doesn't bunch up. And yeah, so I'm just going to finish off this last row of Zimmerit. Then all I have to do to finish the hull is put on the fenders and the last tow cable on this side. And yeah, so I'll do the rest of the Zimmerit off camera. So I have assembled the mantlet and put some Zimmerit on the front, as you can see. So now I have to connect the two turret halves together and fit the mantlet in between them without getting glue on it, so that it can still turn. So it's going to be quite tricky to do that, and what I'm going to have to do is get some glue, put it on all the edges of one side of the turret. And then come in from the top. Try fit the mantlet into the hole. And there we go. Easy. So that's how the mantlet goes in. I'm going to have to do Zimmerit around the whole entire turret, which could take a while, so I'll do that off camera. But I've got a few more parts to fit to the turret, then I'll do the Zimmerit. So yeah. So I've done the Zimmerit around the turret, and I have attached the spare tracks. And so now all I have to do is assemble the hatches for the top of the turret and the stowage box for the back. And after I've done that, I'll be able to stick the turret roof on with all the hatches, and then hopefully assemble the rest of the tank. So, now that the whole turret is assembled, we can grab the hull and the turret, put them together, and then we have it. All the assembly finished on the Academy Tiger 1. I'll do a couple close-up shots soon, but I've just temporarily stuck these on, they can still be pulled off. And in the next video of this kit I will be painting it, so make sure to stay tuned for that.